Hi, I'm Nadia Dunn. Welcome to CCL TV. We're here at the eCommerce Berlin Expo, and joining me is Ben from Hubspot. Ben, thanks so much for joining us today. It's lovely to see you. Now, could you tell us a bit about yourself, your role at the company, and what you do?
Yes, sure. Thanks for having me. I am international brand strategist on the international team. I joined HubSpot right before the pandemic, so I was able to actually visit the Boston office and the Dublin office before everything was closed. And my role is to bridge the gap between international teams and our central team based in the US, the brand team in the US, and then everyone who's leading brand initiatives in region.
And tell us about HubSpot and what the USP is.
So HubSpot is a CRM platform for scaling companies, which includes tools for your service teams, for your marketing teams, sales teams, and your RevOps teams. And it offers like a single source of truth for your teams, so everyone can have access to all the data, but has a unique view. It's easy to use and powerful at the same time. That's what we're focusing on. So sometimes we consider ourselves the Apple of CRMs, if that's something you can say, but that's at least what we think of ourselves.
Great. And you had a presentation here at the Expo this morning. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I spoke about Web3. So I'm super obsessed with Web3, blockchain, and the metaverse. And I think lately, all these technological developments, they come together. We have seen currency and the hype about Bitcoin. And I think some people doubt that the blockchain and currencies, they truly have a use case. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin going from $1,000 to $50,000, $60,000, and it truly cannot be used as some kind of like currency that you can use on a daily basis. But lately we see use cases for crypto or for NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that are super interesting, where it went through a year of being digital art to a utility tool where it gives you access to things that you couldn't have access if you didn't have a wallet and that special item in your wallet.
So tell the audience about NFTs in particular. Where have they come from? How new is this?
So I think they're around for a couple of years, but I have to say that I came across NFTs in the beginning of 2021. And I was curious because I heard now a digital asset, a JPEG basically, can be unique, while we are all used to copy and paste things and then it exists in many places. Now on the blockchain, we know that this specific digital item is unique and it belongs to that one person, at least to that one wallet. So there's one holder. So it is, I would say there was quite a hype in 2021, but now we see more and more use cases that actually make sense and are not just hype and trading digital art and hopefully make a lot of money and resell, but people want to keep their NFTs because they give them access and perks that they wouldn't have if they would just sell them again.
So is it the future?
I think they are. I think they are the future. And I just came across a headline in the morning where it says, "Are NFTs dead?" And I think maybe that's a sign they are actually not. And it's just going to be provocative. But of course, right now we see it a bit flattening. That's what I highlighted in my talk in the morning, where like Google Trends is showing us there's less interest at the moment. But I think with every emerging technology, we always see this peak of inflation where like everyone's interested in it. It's super hyped. Then everyone's going to be a bit disappointed because they're not getting out of it what they wanted to see. And then we start using it in a more smarter way. I had one example where I said, Katy Perry, she dropped 2 NFTs. Mm-hmm. And she will drop another one. And only if you have all 3 NFTs in your wallet, you can have access to a special nostalgia store. Mm-hmm. So it's giving you access to physical items that otherwise you couldn't have access to. And I think some people will be very ambitious to get all these NFTs and unlock that store. And I think that's something that can be super relevant in e-commerce.
So some people are seeing it as a game.
Which it is and can be. So I'm a huge fan of video games. I've always been. And that's when I started to understand NFTs and their use case. Because in the past, let's imagine you played football. We talked about football a couple of minutes ago. And you play FIFA. And you get all these rewards and trophies in that game. And maybe you trade a player and it's now yours. Once the new version of the game is out, or if maybe the publisher decides to shut down the office and the game is no longer played, the servers don't exist, and they lock your account maybe, you don't have access to everything you earned in that game. It's different now with blockchain, where I can log into a game, I earn tokens, cryptocurrency maybe, NFTs, which can be a jersey. Actually, I'm logged into a community where I got a jersey, which is an NFT, but it lives in my wallet. So if they decide to no longer to continue with this metaverse or with this community or this game, I still have it in my wallet, because a wallet is decentralized. It belongs to me. It doesn't belong to the publisher. So I can take it with me and I can still take a look at it. And someone could just come and say, I write a contract and that allows you to use this NFT. So it could be someone completely different, a different provider that I can work with. So it gives more power to the user, which is very interesting.
And it can be as simple and as complex as you want to make it, I guess, because, you're saying from the Katy Perry, just, having 3 of them and unlocking a store, to using it within games like that and making it become more complex, right?
Yes, it can be simple. Rewards can be more simple. For example, I could own an NFT, a Katy Perry NFT. And then Katy Perry's team could see who owns this NFT, because they can see it on the blockchain. So it's all transparent. Everyone can see it. And then they say, we want to send a reward to all the wallets that own this NFT. So in that case, the effort from my side would be very little. I wouldn't have to do anything. It's just they see I own it and they give me rewards for it. And that's the simplest way to give rewards to people that hold NFTs.
And what were the main points that you wanted the audience to get from your presentation this morning?
So basically, I've been in extreme sports. So I've been a professional athlete for many, many years. And what I wanted to show people is that Web3 is so confusing. I think some people don't even know where to start, and it's overwhelming. But what I've learned in extreme sports is that you just have to keep going. And sometimes it hurts. It really hurts. But you just get up and you try again. And with crypto and trying to navigate, because it's also clunky. Like, I think most people, they don't want to try wallets and sending coins, because it's decentralized. If you do it wrong, you lose the money, because no one's giving you back. It's not like your bank, you call someone, you say, hey, can I have my money back? It's just gone. So it's confusing for people. But if you don't try and start working on it, you will never truly understand all the opportunities. And that's what I told everyone in the room. You have to get your hands dirty now. Like, get a wallet. And I asked everyone, do you have a wallet? I think out of 200 people, only 10 raised their hand. And then I asked, do you have an NFT? And that's only 5 people maybe. And then, have you been to the metaverse? It's even less, of course. So I said, start now, because that's the future. You want to be ready when it all happens.
Well, you can tell the audience right now.
Yeah, you have to be ready. Maybe all the assumptions I make are wrong about what we will be using NFTs for, but maybe you're smarter than me and you have a different opinion, and you will find another way to make leverage of it. But you have to get your hands dirty and try.
Excellent. And can you tell us any key industry insights and future developments for HubSpot?
Yes. So as I said before, one of our goals is being easy to use. And one struggle that we've identified in B2B is that selling to a customer in B2B is still full of friction. And I think in B2B, we can expect that selling to a customer is as easy as like selling in e-commerce, where basically it's self-service. People just click on a button and they pay. Most of the time, this is not happening. And this is where we want to head, because with our tools that we have, we solve so many problems. But I think this is still an ongoing pain that we hear here, and that's what we want to solve.
Absolutely. And now, how does working at HubSpot compare to being a professional athlete? Have you had to make that comparison before?
Actually, no one ever asked. But to be honest, there are similarities. And I've worked for many different companies. And I think for me, it's hard to thrive if a company is not fast moving. So HubSpot is fast moving, and there's a lot of freedom for me to just organize my day, my week, my month. And this is what I was looking for in extreme sports, where I could define myself, like, how do I set my goals? How do I achieve them? I think this is the environment that I'm looking for, and that's why I'm with HubSpot.
So the similarities in your role, is that something that you take with you on your daily course?
Yes, absolutely. That's another thing where I feel being in international branding is like being in rollerblading, because in rollerblading it was always important to totally understand your audience, because when you're an athlete and you go to a competition, then your customers are right there. So if your show isn't convincing, you will hear it, you will feel it. You get like immediate feedback, and then also you can read it on the internet. Like you can see it on social media, how people feel about your performance.
Yeah.
And I think knowing that is so important, because sometimes brands, I think they're not well connected to their audience. It's so far away and all the pains are far away. But when you are an athlete, you're basically you're so much closer to everyone else, because you share this passion. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that you're doing. Everyone's a rollerblader. Even that 5-year-old kid that just came here to see you is a rollerblader. And I think this is where in branding, we have to stay connected, and we have to know who's the audience and go above and beyond to excite people. Mm-hmm.
That's great. And talking of getting close to your brand, which is what we're trying to do here at CCL TV, what are your thoughts about us being here?
I'm excited. That I can join you for this interview. I still, to be honest, have to check out everything, because I rushed into the conference and just had to do my keynote speech. And now I'm sitting here having this interview. So hopefully I will have now, after this interview, some time to just walk around and check out everything you're doing here today.
And so far from the event, if you could describe it in one word, what would that be?
Intense.
Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoy that intensity and get something from it. Thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
Thank you.